Hey everybody, Robert Dunt, founder of ArtTop10.com, and here we are with the second of the crazy 3-minute art rants, which today is street art. Anyway, as ever, please like and subscribe. If you like, we have more chance of the video being seen on YouTube. If you subscribe, you know when the next one's coming out. And please follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those kind of things. Really important. Please, if you can, support the channel via the PayPal link in the description at the bottom. It will make a massive difference, and we can make more of these films, more of the, like the art review we just did of Ken Kiff at the Sainsbury's Centre in Norwich, which please do watch, link coming up at the top of the screen. And we're also, if you want to support the channel, but you don't want to just stick it on PayPal, we're going to try and come up with some of these crazy t-shirts. That's a design from one of my paintings, signed by me on the bottom there. So I'll try and get some of those put up on a place you can buy them from for next time. If you want one now, if you're super desperate, just please email us from arttop10.com or put it in the description at the bottom. So thanks so much for the last one. So the last one was, is photography art? Loads of comments. I like this one here by this guy Robert Schaefer. One would think the question of is photography art has long been answered with a very resounding yes, primarily because it's in departments of photography in major museums and is sold for incredibly high prices around the world in auction houses. I've got to say, although, Robert, you have loads of valid reasons why photography is good, like daguerreotypes and all these chaos that it brings, the fact it's in museums and the fact it's sold at high price does not make it art. The whole, commercial art world is so dubious, and the links between that and the commercial galleries are so also dubious that certainly can't make something art. It's much more to do with what people feel and look at. There was also another nice little comment from somebody here we go, Michael Mustillo, where he said, I did an experiment last year. I had a forest scenery photo taken by a 9-year-old girl who was still at school, and a similar photo taken by a famous photographer. I asked my friends to choose which photo spoke to them the most and which they liked. In all cases, they chose the photo by the 9-year-old schoolgirl taken on her iPhone. There we go. Also, today's rant came from a friend of mine called Eddie Erhan. And please, if you've got an idea for a rant, put it down the bottom. Eddie said, Rob, I just watched this great video work. I have a question. Ron English recently purchased a piece of Banksy's work at a high price and then whitewashed the piece. I believe it was to make the statement that street artists shouldn't make a living from their work, which in my opinion is ridiculous. My question is, should street art now be given the same validation as many other main art forms? So, that's what we're going to hit it on today, everybody. So, let's get the crazy counter going, and 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so, who is this Ron English guy? What did he do? Bought a Banksy, wants to paint it over. Now, this guy says he's actually doing it because he wants to stop people profiteering from street art. Well, this guy has done pretty well out of street art. He is a street artist, he's worth $200 million, and I do not think buying the Banksy is going to make his life worse. Oh no, he's got a vast amount of publicity, even more people are going to know about him, and apparently he's even going to sell it off for $1 million when he bought it for $750,000. No, I don't think he is stopping profiteering. He is profiteering. And what I also love is if you go to his website, there's a massive shop where you can buy all sorts of things. So he is clearly happy to profiteer out of street art. And what he's doing is probably more about publicity, quite possibly linked in with galleries as well, as the whole art world seems a pretty murky thing. Banksy himself, gossip is like he's a male white middle class guy, and I'm sure he is aware of just how much money he's making out of what he's doing as well. But that doesn't make it not art. And I would say, really, if you've got $750,000 to spend, don't buy a Banksy. If you're worried about street art and street artists, go out, give that money to street artists who actually genuinely need it. You don't have enough money to do anything at all. That seems a much, much better thing to do than advertise yourself in the art world. But we haven't got to the main question, is street art art? Okay, so I was prancing around Wimbledon, taking loads of photos of graffiti, I suppose, more than street art I saw around here. And I think it's a really interesting thing. If you go, like we went to a place called Cabo Verde recently, middle of nowhere basically, absolutely no advertising in the place at all, tiny little island. You come back and you're overwhelmed with the amount of advertising here on buses and cars and trains. Everywhere you see there's more advertising hammering your face. I do like the idea that the graffiti artists are saying, I cannot bear this advertising. I want to put my own stuff on the world. Why should I look at the advertising? I'd rather look at my name scrawled on a wall or something painted on a side of a shop. I mean, that I can understand is a sort of valid objection to all this advertising we're hammered with. And I actually think that makes street art a really interesting thing, is that it's somebody trying to reclaim what we look at. So we don't have to look at commercial rubbish all the time. We can look at something that has got a deeper meaning. Also, if you talk to street artists, I think you'll find that they actually have quite a lot of care about like the concrete behind or the colour they're putting on top, or even if you're writing something in a train, I've heard people say, oh, when it's wiped away, it leaves a sort of residual mark that has a kind of slight beauty to it. Does that make something art? No, not necessarily. So I would also say the question again is, does art allow you to make or question different things? Can it let you put forward ideas? And actually, I suppose in that way, street art does allow you to put forward ideas, in that it is fighting against this advertising thing. So, let's say yes, street art is art, and we're up. There's the crazy timer. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, please put your comments below. And as ever, please, as I said at the beginning, like, subscribe, follow us Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and please, if you can, support via the link in the description below. Thank you very much. Cheerio guys. Bye bye bye.
Bumbuckler.